What has gotten worse over the years? Career advancement. Working your way up from the mailroom is long gone. You have to switch companies to get any sort of significant raise. At my work, once a manager plus gets poached by another employer, one of their underlings takes over temporarily until a suitable outside hire can be poached from another employer. My back, my neck, my back, my knees always crack. Ads everywhere, in everything. I can't wait to have to skip ads auto playing in my glasses in a few years. This is probably the only one I'm old enough to agree with. As a young person, things like dealing with traffic and working are relatively new to me. But I miss when YouTube only played one ad per video and before the video, rather than interrupting it in the middle. Most annoying thing ever. Blizzard Entertainment. Don't you have phones? Gotta admit, you made me chuckle. Work-life balance. I used to make good money at my old job, but I would work 60-hour weeks. 8-hour shifts would turn into 16-hour shifts with little notice. It took its toll. Work midnights, little sleep. It was an emergency services. To add the extra stress. Got shingles at 26. Finally decided it wasn't worth the money. Quit. Went on a very long hike. Came home and got a regular 9-to-5 office job. Home at 515 every day. Off holidays and weekend. I'm making less, but so much happier now. My job caused me to have a mental breakdown and had to take 3 months on short-term disability. It's in finance. I've been looking for a new job and I definitely want something less intense. I'm a Vol firefighter/EMT and honestly doing that is less stressful than my current job. Traffic. My city opened a commuter rail line that runs parallel to the highway I commute on. Traffic actually got better. Working in retail, stagnant pay, massively overworked. Willingness to murder goes up more and more, day after day. It's only because you have to deal with stupid people all day long. I worked at a Toys R Us one Christmas. I had people ask me if we had a product that was on the shelf they are looking at. And when I would point it out, they would tell me that's not right, even though it is exactly what they had written down on their list. Then they would ask if I could look in the back. I would say sure, then walk away and not come back. The History Channel, Discovery, TLC, MTV, etc. All of these channels are a shadow of what they once were because they are filled with reality TV shows now. I hardly watch TV anymore, and it boggled my mind the other day trying to watch history for the first time in like a decade. All ancient aliens and commercial breaks every 8 minutes. Makes me feel even more certain I'm missing nothing by not watching TV. Google image search. Hell, even the plain Google search has gotten a lot worse. It used to be that Google could pretty much read my mind about what I was searching for, but now I have to be really specific about what I'm searching for, even for basic stuff. Thanks, clickbait. Shark Week. It went from informational to just trying to make people believe Megalodon still exists in like 2 years. And replays the same attacks every single year. That's because there just aren't enough shark attacks. Maybe they could focus on more positive aspects of sharks. They won't, but they could. My eyesight. How many am I holding up? Yes. The whole throwaway mentality and planned obsolescence. My parents had the same TV for like 20 plus years when I was growing up. When it broke, they'd get it fixed. Nowadays, it's just cheaper to replace broken items. More crap goes into landfills, and it's all about the newest stuff. Housing prices. Growing up in CA is hard when my mom thinks I can afford a house straight out of college, just because my uncle did when he graduated in the 80s. We argued for an hours about it. Frustrated me till now. She's one of those people that don't understand numbers, eh? Climate. Yup. Pretty sure I saw on the news that Paris reached a record temperature the other day. It's only gonna get worse. Lots of countries in Europe set new heat records over the past few weeks. France, Belgium, Germany, Poland, Czech. I know, man. Seems every summer we reach record rates. My libido. Medical student here. Don't be afraid of going to your doctor. There could be a variety of medical conditions that are causing this. Your doc will be glad to see you and can get the ball rolling on this to figure out how you can fix it and get back to your original self. Decaying, outmoded infrastructure in the US. Bridges, highways, water delivery systems, rails, etc. The boomers inherited top-notch infrastructure and promptly defended everything they could by voting for the people who said they'd put money in their pockets now. Then watched with uncaring eyes as that infrastructure crumbled, all while complaining, how could the government not keep up? I can't tell you how many times I hear people say millennials are just so entitled and don't care about anyone but themselves. It's staggering. The fact that a handful of them are millennials makes it doubly ironic. Cost of living. Some older people are so out of touch about this. Just recently moved into a new apartment. But before settling on this place, I was talking about the apartment hunt one night with my uncle, and he said, well, you should be able to find a nice little 2-bedroom in the city for no more than $700. I almost choked from laughing. Should have seen the look on his face when I showed him the closets with no kitchen that you could get for $700. He was seriously under the impression that you could get a decent 2-bedroom apartment in the downtown area of a popular city for $700 a month. I'm moving into a studio in a couple months in my current building. I'm currently in a 2-bedroom, but I really need my own place now. The rent is $1,575 a month for a 400 square foot studio. My job. I need to find a way out. Hope it works out well. My appearance. I never thought I would have to face the day I see my hairline recede. Open bracket. Edit, but I guess I'm kind of lucky that it's becoming more and more noticeable to me at 32 years old. A year ago I didn't even see it. Also, I found hearing somebody else talk about their receding hairline vs experiencing it myself are very different things. Lol, try beginning balding at 18. Ease of applying for jobs. It used to be that if you were applying for a minimum wage job, you could walk into any minimum wage business with a hiring sign, ask for an application, get interviewed, and then get the job. Now even minimum wage jobs require at least 1 to 2 years experience, and they'd rather you fill out an online application or tell you to email your resume to some email that you can't be sure they even check. It was already bad enough 11 years ago when I tried applying to a Cold Stones, Quiznos, and other minimum wage jobs in my area and was told to apply online and then never heard back from them. And it's even worse now for people who are still in high school or college trying to get a minimum wage job. Then there's office jobs. Entry-level position. Required master's degree in computer science, 5 years managerial experience. Strings on dog food bags. You used to be able to open them in one clean pull, but anymore they are junk, they break, and you have to slaughter the bag open. The same is true for plastic packaging, where you are supposed to simply peel here. Bull poop. 3 hungry sumo wrestlers and a fat lady couldn't peel that shit open. I have to use scissors every time I open bacon now. That's very specific. Privacy. People still get surprised to hear that Discord or any other free service takes their data. Did they really expect they made so much money off of shirts or whatever? Chain restaurants, in particular Buffalo Wild Wings and Olive Garden. Buffalo Wild Wings has tanked even over the past 2 years. I used to live within walking distance of one, and we'd go all the time. I moved and hadn't been in about 18 months. So when the suggestion came up we go, I jumped on that. I was really disappointed how the wings seemed less tasty, were smaller, and their other food just was meh. Even the waitress seemed duller for some reason. Social networking and its effects on society. The rise of falseness and the decline of friendship. Disney. I wanted to like the new Lion King so much, and while it was beautiful from a technical point, it just does not work as a live action film. The artistic style and colors that made the original film so memorable were noticeably lost. For example, when Rafiki paints the main over Simba on the tree, the bright colors just burst off the screen against their darker background, creating a memorable cinematic experience. In the movie, it was just a dull smudge. The United States healthcare system. Harder to navigate every year, increasing costs, companies constantly switching insurance providers, forcing you to start over on figuring out what is covered and which providers are in network. For a country that keeps proclaiming it's the greatest place on earth, our healthcare system certainly is not. Corporate greed. It seems like everyone is trying to bleed you dry. From banks to mobile providers, to fuel prices and the government taxes on absolutely everything. They don't seem to be happy unless you are under crushing debt with your bank account nearly empty.